Okie dokie. Hi guys. I don't think there's going to be heaps of people on tonight because it is a Sunday night for most people, but I was going to dedicate some time to updating my digital book journal. So I thought I'd do it on here rather than try and film a static video, just because that's a bit of setup at the moment. But yeah, I wanted to test out how I can stream my iPad to StreamYard, and I have figured it out, which is great. And I'm just going to work my way through it. So if you do turn up, feel free to say hi. You're more than welcome to ask any questions. And yeah, I am just going to work my way through this. So hopefully you enjoy, especially if you come back for the playback. All right. So this is ultimately my screen, or my collection of digital journals that I use for journaling. All right. So I currently have two that I'm working on. There is the one that I used from January to August, which is this one, or the second one on the screen, the one that says 2021 Bookish. And then the one directly underneath it, the black and white stripe one that says book journal, is the one that I've started in September. So this one is about a week in. So I can probably show you guys what this one looks like. So I decided to change it up for September. So this is a digital planner by Lux Planners, I believe. I'll go back and put a link in the description later on. And yeah, I just wanted to change up the layout. So I've also started using it to do my weekly sort of reflection, memory keeping sort of stuff. But this is the first week of September. So there's a lot of things I need to fill in here. But mostly what I wanted to work on was my, I don't even know, let's go back to the start of this one. My January one. Hi, Megan. How you going? Happy Sunday evening, afternoon. I'm always losing track of what time everyone is where. But yeah, I was just saying earlier that I switched I switched digital journals, so I'm going to try and update the other one because I actually want to print these eventually and have a physical copy of it because I do think they look quite pretty. But anyway, where do I want to start? Pretty sure January is all done. Or the first week of January. 7 p.m. Excellent. Yeah, Hi, Heather. Yes, this is just me carving out time to actually do this. January was all done. I think February might have been all caught up as well. I don't know. Actually, it's probably just easier to look at the overview. February is mostly done. So, how have you both been today? Have you had good Sundays? That's the most important question. And aside from that, I've just got to try and remember what I thought about all of these books because that's going to be interesting. I think I've also got my other spreadsheet open as well. Because yeah, looking back on it, I don't really remember this Kerrigan Byrne book, so I don't know quite what I'm going to write. And what are you going to read, Heather? Do share. You are, of course, responsible for me bawling my eyes out last night over the slow burn. But I'm so glad I read that series. All right. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Ryan. I hope everyone's had a good day. I don't know if people are familiar with GoodNotes, which is what I use. But if you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to sort of work my way through it. I'm not going to do this like a normal sprint where I turn the microphone off. So if you have questions or something that you want to say at any point, just type it in the chat. Yeah, I agree. I think Oh, actually, no, I don't know if I agree about the hookup being my favorite of the two. I think they're pretty evenly tied for me. Yeah, of course not. Oh, fantastic. Have a good time with it. Paige is great. It is very exciting. Anyway, a long time ago, I used to film. Oh, what am I doing? A long time ago, I used to film a whole lot of Plan With Me videos, sort of things. I used to be a planner channel. So I used to film all of these and just edit and upload them. But I could have done that with this, but I really couldn't be bothered, guys. So we're just going to do it here. Yeah, time differences are a fun thing to work around, Ryan. I totally understand that. I usually do it from my end. Yay. Looking forward to you having all of your notes. Okay. Oh, you started Magic Friends, Heather. Excellent. Yeah, I did what I usually do, which is I read it and read the first one and then thought, oh no, I'll take a break. And then I read them back to back. So I've got to do my notes in here, which will be slightly different to my other notes. I haven't read The Radium Girls, but I do know of it. Oh, and you're lucky that you got it from the publisher. That's awesome. You'll get there. Oh, good. All right. I am going to attempt to get this sorted. Sperm Whale books. Interesting. Which is going to be your third Jane Harper book? Are you going to go Lost Man or The Survivors? Okay. Oh. Well, hold on, guys. I'm going to lose the screen for a sec because my pen has decided to be a pest. Okay, let's see if I can get... Oh, there we go. Back again. Oh, awesome. The Lost Man is great. I didn't realize they had a film about it. I will have to keep an eye out for that. No, the live is next week. You've got 2 weeks, Megan. Fair enough. Yeah, I forget that it's been out in paperback here for a while. The Survivors is very much like The Dry, just set in a different location. It's probably the closest to The Dry of all of her books. Okay, where was I? Looking up character names for this. Oh, and possibly not writing in white. That could be why. Don't mind me and my... Oh, why is that so thin? Inability to pay attention to what I'm doing. And Vince. We'll do a daily countdown. All right. So I can't remember Dancing with Danger. Actually, no. I kind of remember Dancing with Danger by Kerrigan Byrne. That one, I think, ends up chasing around after a vigilante, I think. And this is why you should never leave your book journaling for months and months, because then you have to try and figure it out. All right. And what this is just truly going to reveal is that my handwriting is utterly random all the time. All right, maybe I just start with the Innkeeper series because at least this one is, cemented in my brain. Yeah, Joan Harper does go for fully depressing endings. But yes, I would like some more Aaron Falk books as well. So I'm using GoodNotes 5, which is very easy to use. So it's basically a notebook app, and it is a paid app, but there's a huge amount of functionality in it. Pretty much if you purchase like a digital journal, they're all PDFs, and it basically just functions like a normal journal. So this journal, I've mentally forgotten, is Foance, I think. I'll leave a link to it later on. And as you work your way through it, they've hyperlinked all of the tabs and things like that, so you just move around in it. And then if you don't want to use a pre-made journal, you can just set one up. You just set up a new notebook. You can choose a cover, and they've got a whole lot of preset covers, and then you can choose your paper type. And again, they've got heaps of different options. You can choose portrait or landscape. I thought you could go in and change the background color, and you can just sort of work in it as a notebook. But the really cool thing is anywhere in the journal you can go in and, if I go select, you can copy and paste pages anywhere. So it's really customizable, and the beauty of it, if you make a mistake, you can just rub it out and keep going. Yeah, and it probably doesn't help that I'm trying to use an Apple Pen on a screen. Like I have the Paperlike screen protector now, which makes it a little bit easier. I've actually started typing in my new book journal. I just prefer it at the moment. Yeah, no, you have to be emotionally ready to do the Hut Principle. It's pretty full on. Yeah, it just depends on how I'm feeling and also how neat I want to be. All right. Oh, I didn't put in start writing. And also the other good thing about GoodNotes is now that you've got this option to create your own stickers so that you don't have to keep dragging things in and out. Oops. But I've been playing with this now for a little bit over a year, so it's something that I enjoy doing. If it takes me a little while to respond to things, it's just because I'm looking at multiple screens and I haven't got both my laptops set up. Just saying, we can reread it at any point, Heather. I love this series, although Sweep of the Blade is my favourite of all of the books. Which I should probably write down. It was on my list of things to write down. So thank you. That's just reminded me. All right, can I remember what happened in Tiamat's Wrath? Sweep of the Blade is the best, but it leans more heavily into that sci-fi element because they're not on Earth. But it is amazing. And Helen is one of the best written kids in sort of an urban fantasy sci-fi book that I've ever read. Megan. Honestly, it's one of those series that you can just read and really, really enjoy. It's so good. Yeah, it's one of those things. I think perhaps I really loved it because I'm more of a, like, my background is really sci-fi based in terms of my reading taste. So it's urban fantasy sci-fi rather than a more fantasy based sort of system. But still very good. The only series of Kate Daniels that I haven't really read the whole way through is The Edge, and the Innkeeper Chronicles link very loosely to that. I'd read enough that I could make the connection, but I don't have the same understanding of that series. That was the one that I struggled with the most. I read the first book and then I never picked up the second one. But yes, it's kind of hard to top Kate Daniels and Hidden Legacies, but I thought Sweep of the Blade did a pretty good job. All right, I've got to remember Tiamat's Wrath. Actually, what I remember of this book is that I'd completely forgotten everything else that happened around it. So this is where my sci-fi comes in. Yeah, it's not so much romance focused, although there are romance subplots in it. It's a bit more like the early Kate Daniels books before the romance really kicks off. And what were your thoughts on The Edge, Heather? I'd like to know. Yeah. Reading Kate Daniels is always a good idea. Ooh. Yeah, my spreadsheet is about the only thing that's updated. But sometimes, yeah, I was a couple of days behind, but I caught up on that last night. All right. Okay, let's try and remember what happened in this book, which is the second last book in a 9-book series. Oh, gosh. Okay. And it took me 3 days to read, which, okay. Pen. Yeah, that part of it I did really like. I need to go back and finish it. That'll be like a goal for the end of the year because I think I've got all of the books, but I might need to go back and reread the first one just because I can't remember that much about it. Yeah, that was. Oh, sorry, that was very cool. The one thing I will say about Alona Andrews is that they do really come up with some very interesting and unique worlds and magic systems. There's always plenty of room for thought in those ones. Okay. Oh, the other thing that I do, and this is a very terrible example, is I put my video covers in the monthly overview after they're posted. And I did use the page after to do any reading prompts, but I've stopped doing that because it just wasn't working for me. Get rid of that. Clearly March was not a good reviewing month for me. Okay. All right. Hi, Paige. How are you going this morning? Oh, good luck. Yeah, it's GoodNotes. So, and I'm just using a digital planner that I purchased, but it is pretty cool. I like it because I enjoy handwriting some of the time. So, Thanks. Well, then I won't talk too much so I don't distract you. I'm glad that you're reading the 5th season, though. It is a good book. Oh, God. Gosh, can't spell. I don't think my presence has ever been called soothing, but thanks. Yeah. I did all my editing yesterday, but I had to take lots of breaks. Oh, I'm so glad. Good. Yeah, I keep getting warnings about that sort of stuff, so I got to keep an eye on it. But I'm glad that it's been motivating for you to get back into it. Okay. Look, this entire live stream is because I don't want to have to edit a video if I filmed this normally, so I hear you on the editing woes. Yeah, Heather, you are goals to live by, honestly. But you have a schedule and you stick to it because that fits in with what you need to get done. So it's a good thing. I love that you're using Alona Andrews as a reward system. Productivity is not a competition. Case in point, I have taken leave, so I was no longer productive. So I need to be productive in my own way. And yes, there are plenty of other virtues other than productivity. Plus, it means things to different people. When you look at things and realize your notes are out of order. Okay, time thief. Yeah. I know. I love that. Well, Sight Changeling is a very long series, so we did well to get through all of them in the time that we did. Yeah. Borrowed meaning disappeared and you will never see again. Oh. Well, on the flip side, it will remind her of you every time she wears it. But yeah, if you do want it back, just say that you want it back. Okay. Let's try and remember which Immortals After Dark book this is. I have no idea. And all of the Immortals After Dark people are like, what is wrong with you? Oh, Sabine's book. Okay. See, look what a good friend you are, Heather. All right. For some reason, my Apple Watch has decided that I stood for an hour when, basically the video records shows that I have not stood for an hour at all. So I don't know what its deal is because I did not get up. All right. I can't remember the Kiss of Stephen King. All right. Katie Robert. So, what have we got? Oh, that's good, though. One of the other things that I started to do, and actually this is one of the reasons why I'm really enjoying having a digital book journal, is that now whenever I get character art for things, I shove it in here. So I've been collecting stuff from Katie Roberts and Juliet Cross's books. And there's even an artist who's doing some really amazing side changeling character artwork, which I might come up to in a little while. I've been on for about an hour. I might do another 20, 30 minutes just to try and catch up on a couple of months. But yeah. Which names? Character names? I put them in my spreadsheet because if I have to talk about them, I need to remember them, so I write them down. Yeah, I love finding character art. And I'm now stalking the person who's doing the side changeling artwork and like grabbing all of them because actually I'm trying to think. Whose do I have? I'll go here. So Megan at least will appreciate this. We have Caleb and Sahara. And I love these. And she's just done Silver Mercant as well. I know. It's been an hour. But anyway, time to go find where I was up to. Over here. In what way? Lots of different ways to be smart. You mean putting all my character names in? That's because I was finding that when I had to write up my notes for filming, that I couldn't remember who was who. So in the end, I just decided to create a column in my spreadsheet so that I would never forget. So now when I read, I have this just a really simple notebook that I jot down the title, the characters, and any tropes or content warnings, so that I transfer it all into my digital planner after I finish reading it. I sort of do a couple of books at a time. And then I occasionally need to go back to Goodreads, usually if it's sort of 3 stars or less and it's sort of something that doesn't stick in my brain as much. But at least I've got the character names as a prompt, which usually helps. Yeah, look, it's one of those evolving processes where I was trying to work out the most efficient way to keep all that information in my head. And, it's really only been maybe since last year that I started doing that. Yeah. I was like, when I was mostly reading physical books, it was a lot easier because usually I can pull the names off the back of the book while I'm filming because I don't script anything. I just make notes. But yeah, now that I predominantly read digital ebooks and things like that, it's a little bit harder because I don't have the physical prompt. Yeah, I'm tempted to go back to books. I tier ranked the books, but I'm also tempted to tier rank the couples, although I don't know how different it would be to what my first one was. But there are definitely couples in there that I really love. No worries, Heather. Yeah, I know you want to rant about Aidan's book. It's funny because if I was to do characters versus couples, it would be different for the most part. Or at least my favorite characters possibly wouldn't end up in the top of my favorite couples, but that's just, the way that it is. All right, where are my neon gods? Okay, what are the tropes? This is the thing with Katie Robert. There's so many tropes. So many tropes. Yes, I know. All right. Actually, before we do that, the one thing that this live stream has been really good for, because I was saying to a few people that I work with, like I've taught now for 12 years, and this is the first time I've ever taken leave that's not sick leave or, the regular school holidays. So, of course, I spent this morning before 9 o'clock frantically checking my email to make sure that my relief teacher could get online because we're remote teaching. And I'm like, please don't have problems. Please don't have problems. So I'm that person who needs a distraction because otherwise I'll do work. So instead of doing work, I'm doing this. So there you go. I've revealed my issues of control. Heather, you missed me revealing my control freak nature, but I suppose that's not a shocker. I promise I'm not working. I have one meeting today, and there is exceptional circumstances for it, but it's not with kids. We've just got a new boss, and he officially starts this week. And I did make the exception because I'm like, it's actually really important because I'm on the leadership team, so I kind of need to meet him. But yeah, other than that, there is absolutely no work planned. There is just a whole lot of reading, a whole lot of walking, potentially a whole lot of eating involved. No, honestly, it's one meeting and there's no work involved in it. So that, and it's today, so it's at the start, so it's over and done with. I'm not hanging out for the rest of the week. Thanks, Heather. My leave is only for 1 week. It was originally 2 weeks, but because we're in lockdown, I shortened it to 1 week because one of the weeks that I had booked was to help my parents out, but obviously I can't go and see them. So this is just a mental health recuperating week. You are allowed to be anti-meeting. That's totally fine. Normally I would be, and this is the only exception that I've made. And to his credit, my new boss was very apologetic. It's just terrible timing for it. But yeah, I've got this week off, then I'm back for 1 week, and then we are on our term break. So I'll have 2 weeks off as well. Yeah, I do get to keep the other week, so I can use it. So I can either use it this year or I can push it back to next year. I've already said that next year I'm probably going to take 2 weeks off around the same time. I think I'm just going to do that regularly. It's my long service leave, which I've never touched. So I'm just getting to the point now where, even if I'm not going anywhere, and I'm not a big travel person anyway, yeah, I just need to make sure I have a break. I wish I could say I thought that, I'd be able to leave the country and come back into the country, and then, a Polycon might be something that I'd be interested in coming over for. But at this point, if I left Australia, I would probably find it very difficult to get back in. So I'm not planning anything like that for a little while, just because we don't know what's going on. Yes, well, right now my kids, like talking about anti-meeting, right now my kids will be doing their maths lesson. So I am, very happy to be keeping myself distracted. All right. Okay, where was I up to? Neon Gods. Actually, it's funny. I was just talking about Neon Gods. I've just filmed a Hades and Persephone recommendations video that's going up this week. So I literally word vomited about 6 or 7 Hades and Persephone books, because I think that's probably now the most common retelling that I read. So this should be easy if I, stop talking. yeah, so I'm just chilling out, which is fine because I'm a total homebody. I'm good if I can just go out for walks and occasionally talk to people. Oh, thank you. Hopefully it's okay. Like I don't think there's any shocking recommendations in there, but there are some different ones. I tried to base it off different genres, so they're all a little bit different. Heather, I actually did not read these ones back to back. I've read them over the last couple of years. So this is not my normal kind of recommendation video where I would read them back to back. I tried to pull from the last couple of years worth of reading. So it's inspired by you, clearly, because you are the queen of recommendation videos. Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear that. That's rubbish. When will the people get their shit together? Honestly, sorry. I don't normally swear on my channel, but it bothers me. Yeah, they're increasingly more popular at the moment. Brie, hi, how are you? Welcome. How about you and your nicknames? Honestly. All right. Gonna finish this. Oh my gosh. Okay. I hope you've had a great day, Brie. Gosh. Grabbing one of Brie's stickers because they're awesome. Did I scolded you with love? Wear it like a badge of honor. Yeah, I forgot that that the sound would be picked up by the microphone. So hopefully it's okay and it's not too bad. It's kind of like that ASMR stuff, right? Very glad to hear that you've been productive. This is me attempting to be productive and well distracted. Good. Okay, I'm glad. Because I totally forgot about it because I have a separate mic to my headphones. And then I just realized that the pen is really close to it. All right. Second first impressions. Can I remember what this one is about? Okay. Fugitive Telemetry. Oh, okay. So this is part of the Murderbot Diary series, which the first book is All Systems Red and is a fantastic book. It is science fiction, but they're mostly novellas. There is one full-length novel in there. Might be this one. No. Is it this one? I can't remember. I'll have to have a look. But there's 5 novellas and 1 full-length novel. And it's basically a series about what would we call it? Cyborg, android, sort of humanoid with robotic components, who is kind of a cyber security unit who is assigned to work with humans as a protection detail when they go on jobs. So in the very first book, this sec unit is assigned to a group of scientists who are on a planet investigating different properties there. And this sec unit has hacked its own systems, so because it found a way to do it, and it doesn't like people and is very antisocial. And it spends most of its time watching science fiction space opera soaps, basically. But it's so funny. It is such a good series, and the character is amazing. Oh, good. Maybe I'll do some more of these when I update things, because I tend to fall behind on it. It's just nice to be able to talk about different books and different things as we go along. Yay! I need to do a reread of Guild Hunters. I do miss that series. I cannot wait for Archangel's Light. I'm like dying for it to come out. Yay, that's always great. I have to say, because I do collect Nalini Singh's books, particularly Guild Hunters and the Psychangeling series. For Archangel's Light, I had to pre-order both copies of the book, the mass market and the US mass market and the UK cover, because they are both stunning. I have most of the books in the series are the UK covers, but the last couple of mass markets have just been absolutely gorgeous, and I just want the artwork, which I know Heather's going to probably scold me about doing that, but I love them so much. Please do. Yeah. I'll come and hang out if I can. Just talk awkwardly like I do. I always feel weird, but I'm glad that there are people here. So thank you for hanging out with me so that I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. Yeah, Murderbot Diaries books are great. There's no romance in them. They are science fiction books, but they are so fun. They're one of my favorite series, and every time a new one comes up, I pre-order it. Well, that's very true. I'm always up for lives like this because I think they're fun. They're interesting. I like seeing people's process. Oh, yeah, the cover reveals for those were just gorgeous. Really? See, I'm glad that I don't come across as awkward because I feel really awkward. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you. Making me feel better. Well, if I do another one of these, you guys are always all very welcome. Just let me know. Come and hang out on the screen. You should. I find, honestly, it's gotten easier the more that I've done it. And it's been a good experience. And I think it's nice because I'm so used to filming with just a camera. It's nice to actually have some interaction and be able to respond to things. Yeah, my channel used to be a Planet channel, so I used to pre-film everything. There's still like years worth of Planet videos on my channel, hidden, buried, very far away. And I loved doing them, but yeah, I never did one live. Megan, stop it. Lives take some of the pressure off because it's not so much because you're not editing. So there is that. That's great. Oh, okay. While you two get started in this, I'm just going to finish off this review and then I'll catch up on what you say. Oh, God. gosh. Okay. Let's look up. Actually, I would have written a review for this because it was a NetGalley. Oh, okay. What did I write about it? See, you say stuck. I say, kind of happy to have people around me, to be perfectly honest. Not much. It's nice to have some good friends, different time zones, and I'm just glad that I can be up and talk to people at a reasonable time. Okay. Of course you are. Whenever I do that, I try and think, is the focus on the sort of the world with like what's actually happening in the world, and if the romance is sort of the subplot to that story, and if the romance is the main focus, then it's usually a paranormal romance. Because I always think of Kate Daniels is first and foremost an urban fantasy story or series with a romantic subplot. But it becomes more pronounced throughout the series. But initially, it's very much urban fantasy. Thank you. Yes, come and hang out with us on Tuesday night. So I have my iPad plugged into my Mac, and I'm using QuickTime to use or to display it, and then I'm screen sharing through StreamYard, which was something that I found in a YouTube tutorial when I was trying to figure out the best way. Otherwise, I probably could have AirPlayed it, but this way is a little bit more stable because it's connected, and also it's keeping it charged so it doesn't die on me. Oh, yeah, the paranormal romance you tend to have, or at least, well, you have your HEA, but it's usually, if it's not at the end of the book, it's within a reasonable time in the story arc. If you want, Brie, I can send you the video that I was watching, so that you can have a look. There's also a couple of, I'm not sure if you're on a Mac, there are a couple of other, I think, apps and things that you can use. I think Reflector 4 was one that they were suggesting. But yeah, this honestly seemed like the quickest and easiest way. It's basically you connect your iPad and do all the authorization stuff, and then you open QuickTime and you start a new movie, and it usually opens up the webcam first, but then next to the record button, there's a little drop down menu, and you can click on iPad, and it just brings it up on the screen, which is, it's actually been really good. I've been really pleased with how it's worked. I'd go paranormal romance with Archangel Sun, because it is there. The romance is a huge part of it, and it's complete by the end of it. Like the whole series itself is probably more urban fantasy, or in terms of the storytelling, but I actually think some of the books themselves, particularly the ones with the side characters and their romantic subplots, are more paranormal romance. But that's just my opinion. Yeah. Oh well, then this will work for you, Brie. So I'll, when I jump off here, I might do 10 more minutes on here, and then, unless people want to hang around it for until 12, well, my 12, so it'd be 10 o'clock. I don't mind. I don't have anything else on. And then I'll send it to you. You're welcome. I had no idea that you could do it with QuickTime either, so I'm glad that I learned that, because it's also possibly something I can use at school with my kids. Hi, Shay. Welcome. All right. Now I'm going to figure out if this book is the novella or the novel. It's the novella, so this is book 6. Okay. God, now I've just got to remember what happened in this one. Oh. Okay, so the one thing about the Murderbot Diaries series, for anyone who is unfamiliar with it, is that Murderbot has a very dry, sarcastic sense of humor. And later in the series, it starts working personal security for some of the characters that we meet along the way, which is not a spoiler. And in this book, there's a murder that it has to help investigate. And I was just looking at the synopsis on Goodreads, and it opens with, "No, I didn't kill the dead human. If I had, I wouldn't dump the body in the station mall," because the whole time, it typically avoids humans, but it does have opinions on how you can commit a crime all the time. Yeah, it's interesting trying to find some different ways that it can be done easily when you don't use a Mac. Oh, it's so good. Like it's, as I said before, it's not romance based at all, but it is so much fun. Yeah, and I typically, I try and remember to always add in the book covers, and then just carve out chunks of time like this to sort of go back and do things. Usually I do it while I'm watching TV, which I only do if I've finished reading early enough, and then I'll throw on the TV and then I'll do it. So, yeah, it is really popular. I actually have the audiobook because I need to do a reread, so I might at some point go back and listen to the audio because I am very, very intrigued to see what that experience would be like listening to it. But it's a great series. I think, Shay, there are a couple of apps that do work on Android systems. I can't remember if GoodNotes does. So I do use GoodNotes. Let me have a look. Yeah. Have a look because I think GoodNotes 5 might be available, and you basically use PDFs in it. So all the planners are just PDFs, hyperlinked PDFs, and you can make your own as well. I made a notebook. OneNote is something that people use a lot. And in fact, I think there are people who are making planners for OneNote. That's the sticker book. When I was first mucking around with sort of figuring out GoodNotes, like I made a really simple, just like a plain notebook in Keynote. But I mean, you could do the same thing in PowerPoint. It's basically the same sort of idea. And yeah, like it was super, super easy. I obviously haven't used this for anything, but it just sits there. Okay. Oh, that's cool. That would be very helpful. Well, I can stay on till 12 o'clock. My meeting with my new boss is at 12:30, so I've got 25 minutes. So I'm more than happy to hang out here for that length of time. I honestly don't mind. So I'll be here. Cool. Awesome. Okay, well, we'll do another 25 minutes and I'll see if I can. Maybe I'll get to the end of March. Maybe that would be good. I think I'm just going to copy this quote because I really like it. What are we? Murderbot 6. I love that. Yeah. That's why I no longer do the monthly wrap-ups. Hurts my brain. Yeah, takes a while. See, my thing is I can forgive covers not being up for the whole time, but if you're going to do that, then you need to have a list of the books that you talk about in the content descriptors, because so many people don't do that. And I find that really frustrating, because at least then I know I can go and check the list, process of elimination. Yeah, I love this. Yeah. It's so good. Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one, Bray, because like at least you don't even have to link it. Just put the name of the book and the author, and I'm fine. I'm more than happy to look something up on my own. Yeah, I love that, and I love the Sienna portrait as well. Actually, I'm wondering, I think I have the Hawke one. Do I have the Hawke one? And I just haven't put it in yet. That's something I can do. Sorry, I'm just scrolling on my phone to see where I've put it. Maybe I didn't. Hang on. clearly I have not put it in. Okay. So you guys won't be able to hear it, but I'm close enough to hear the fact that my school is currently playing music over their loudspeakers, because I literally live across the road from it, because we've still got kids on site. Weird. Okay. There you go. There's the hawk art. How am I going to do this? Well, you know what? I'm not going to write that much about A Court of Silver Flames, so we'll just put the hawk artwork in here. Okay. Where am I? Excellent. That's always good. I know some people do. Well, I think that's a really silly reason, because people, like, I always forget the name of things and I come back to videos specifically to find a list, which automatically usually leads me to watching more of the video. So it's almost more watch time. What I've started doing, Shay, is because I keep everything in Evernote, which I think I have done a video on it. As I'm going through, I just keep making the lists in there and I literally just copy and paste it in. Like, I create the description from my filming notes because all the information's in there. This is not shaming at all. So do not look away in shame. It's all good. I know it can be hard because there's a lot of things that you need to do when you're putting together a video. And I was not great at it initially either. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I think that's exactly right. I'm watching it to hear people's thoughts. The list of books is great because it means that if I miss something or if I forget what a book's called, I can go back and get it. But I don't watch just to find a list of books in the description. I watch to hear what people thought of something. Also, the other thing about putting them in your description box is if people are doing a search in Google, like it actually increases your chance of someone finding your book or finding your video based off a book if they're searching for reviews on it. Like, it's you want to have it written down somewhere because it helps with keywords. Oh, where am I? Okay. Yeah, and if you don't know that they're there, you wouldn't automatically go looking for it. So that's fair. It's so true. It is so true. Well, when I started figuring out how to use timestamps as well, I actually quite like using them to separate out the books in the video so that if people want to watch something specifically, they can. Because, I know not everyone wants to watch everything that's in all of my videos, and that's fine. I'd love them to watch the whole thing, but I'd rather them watch the part that they're interested in because they're more likely to come back. Yeah, I'm the same as well. Also, Heather is very unimpressed with me because I watch most of YouTube on 1.5 or 2 times speed as well. So sometimes I miss things and I have to go back. Yeah, that too. And that's the thing. Like one of my big goals is to make sure that I'm captioning my videos. And I have to say that when we went back into lockdown, that's one of the things that has really fallen behind. And I'm really annoyed at myself for it. But at the moment, it's I'm trying to get up as much, like trying to maintain that load plus having an extra computer load. And I've just got it on my list of things. Like I want to try and catch up on some of that this week. So it's hard to do absolutely everything. It's really tough. That's fair. Oh, thank you. Okay. Well, if I wanted to watch everyone and I watched everyone on one time speed, I would probably never get through seeing everyone's videos. So I try and because I want to try and watch as many people and as many friends as I can. I actually really like using timestamps now that I've started using them. I find them really useful. I'm sorry. Hopefully you're enjoying it, but any little bit of progress is progress. All right. Well, clearly I've been distracted by artwork and conversation. Hang on. Let's see. How are we going? Okay. So I've only got this page for March. And clearly did not do anything in April. And this was a week. Heather, this was your week. Thank you. This is the week that I spiraled. I can tell that was a school holiday week. All right, so it's not too bad. I've put a pretty decent dent in this. I'm trying to finish this one off. But you know what? There's actually, honestly, multitasking is something of a myth. And I've actually got some research that backs it up. Because when we do this thing, I present for local teachers in my network as a literacy trainer. And, we try and ask people to focus on what they're doing because when you're not at school, it can be really hard to shift your focus into the training. And yeah, one of the things we go into is around the idea of multitasking and how ineffective it actually is. We kind of trick ourselves into thinking we're more productive than we are. So sometimes doing one thing at once is actually more productive. Clearly, because I only got through a couple of pages in 2 hours. Yeah, well, look, I had all the covers in there. I had all of the star ratings, which incidentally, you guys are actually getting a bit of a peek into the fact because the other video I've got coming out this week is why I don't give my star ratings in my booktube videos anymore. Like the only places that I share them are in my journal, Goodreads, my blog and my spreadsheet. I don't share them on YouTube anymore. So you're actually getting all my star ratings. This is one of the places that I do. Yeah, it happens quite often. You give me a week where I can pretend that I'm not an adult and I will just binge read things. Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, let's try and get this done in the next 9 minutes. Who was this? This words. Let's do this. I think I'm going to stop there before I start another week. This might definitely be something that I do another time, because this is fun having people to chat to while I work on this. So this, I think, I can't remember who was here at the start. This is my first digital book journal for the year, and I've just switched from September into a new one. So I'm sort of starting it this way, which has kind of been fun. Just trying a different style, because I really like the handwriting aspect of it, but I've also found that I really like typing the way that it looks when I type it in. But the planner that I was using for the first part of the year doesn't have any plain white backgrounds, so I am giving this layout a bit of a shot, and at the same time I'm also using it to use sort of my memory keeping planner as well, which I've only just started, and I'm still putting in my video covers in here as well, which has kind of been fun. Just trying out different templates, and I suppose that's the thing that I like about the digital bullet journaling, is that it's a little bit flexible. I can change it up, but my goal eventually will be to finish off with the year with them, and then have them printed as actual physical books. So yeah, I haven't. Thank you. It's actually a little bit big for me, but I kind of love it. And my very last meeting with the kids last week, we read a story, a children's picture book story called I Got This Hat, which is basically about a kid who just wears all sorts of different hats for different jobs. So we all wore our funny hats to the meeting. And yeah, I've enjoyed getting back to memory keeping, sort of, but we'll see how it goes, because I've been really slack with planning anything for months. I just haven't been in the right frame of mind to do it. Yeah, I think that's the real benefit of them, is that you can, chop and change, and you have that flexibility. So it doesn't feel like you're constantly stuck in doing the exact same thing. You can always change your spreads and layouts. And, honestly, what I do if I don't use something is I just delete it from the plan. Like if it's a week or something that I haven't done it, I just take it out, because it doesn't matter in the end. It's not about putting pressure on yourself to get things done. Yeah. So I've seen a couple of people who use these for strictly planning and memory keeping, who print them out, and they look amazing. They basically look like these really great magazines. So that is what I'm aiming for. So fingers crossed. Like once I finish the this one, I'll get it. I'll try and get it printed and planned, hopefully before the end of the year, and then I'll finish out the year with the other one. All right, my lovely friends, I need to head off and eat some lunch before I have this meeting with my new boss. But thank you for joining me and for hanging out and having a chat. And I'm glad that you guys were able to get some things done, or just chat. It's not about getting things done. I will do a flip through once I get it printed. So thank you. And then I fully intend to spend the rest of the day on the couch reading. So I think so. I've met him very briefly once in a different meeting, but I know this is mostly just so he gets to meet the leadership team before he meets the rest of the staff, which is kind of nice, actually. Thank you. No worries. And hopefully I'll get to do another one of these another time. And if anyone, like I said, if anyone wants to hang out with me in the actual live stream, if I do another one of these, let me know. All right. I hope you guys have a really good night. Okay. And I will talk to you all soon. See you later, guys.